Hi everybody, my name is Kia Cannons. I am a creative coach, and every week I have been posting videos all about how to do what you love. Now you may have noticed that there hasn't been much of that recently, and that's because of obviously everything that's going on in the world. So I have been posting videos all about how to manage your emotions right now, because that has been the immediate need that I have seen my audience here needing help with. But it's been a few weeks now. Things have started to settle. The initial shock of coming to terms with an enormous disturbance in life as we know it has begun to settle. And now I want to bring the conversation back to the value in doing what you love. I know a lot of people right now are seriously having to assess what on earth they're going to do with their lives, because perhaps they've spent an awful lot of time creating a career based on what they think they should do, even though it's not what you particularly enjoy, and then found that, oh my goodness, there's a chance that that job isn't even going to exist, and the business that you work for isn't even going to exist in a few months' time. And so I'm getting a lot of clients coming to me saying, I need to start from scratch. How do I do it, Kia? You've done it, and also you've managed to do it and do what you love. Can I do that too? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, firstly, why I think you should do what you love, even at a time like this, when, finances are potentially, for a lot of people, incredibly on the rocks right now. Do you have the audacity to think about doing what you love? Yes, 100%. And that is because whilst we are, we all want security. It's an innate need our brain looks for, security, comfort, all those kind of things. And security brings that kind of comfort and steadfastness in your life. But the problem is when you choose to do something that you hate doing, or that you're not very good at, or that it's only okay, but generally it drains you, it can lead to health complications. It can lead to mental health concerns. And then what if something unexpected happens in the business, or like we've experienced now, something happens in the world goes through an enormous trouble, which means that all this security that you've been banking on from this job that you hate suddenly doesn't give you that security anymore. It really can make you stand there and think, what on earth am I doing with my life? So this is where I see the value in taking the time to slowly move towards doing what you love. It doesn't have to be a flash in the pan thing. Sorry guys, right in the middle of recording, I've realized my battery's running out, so let me just plug it in. Yeah, doing what you love doesn't have to be down tools, start something new tomorrow. For a lot of people, that simply isn't realistic. But what I teach you every week in these videos about how to do what you love is how to start it in the smallest, most manageable way, week by week, just doing something small. And so, if you're listening to this and you're starting to think, just tell me what to do, feel free to go to the very beginning of all the videos that I've done, and you will see me begin this how to discover your passion and purpose topic. Now, the reason I think it's so important, other than the fact that it is ridiculously, outrageously fun, and if you've got this one wild life, what are you going to do with it? I think you should enjoy it. But it's also because at times like this of economic crisis, of losing our security and that kind of thing, when you're doing something every day that you are wildly curious about and gives you an enormous sense of passion, and you can feed that passion to whatever you're doing, that drives the most incredible energy that sustains you when times are tough. So it can be when times are tough, and this is obviously on an enormous scale right now in the world. But we also can apply this to when you've just got to do your work and you'd rather not be doing it. You've hit a deadline at a time when your energy is low, or perhaps you're getting all sorts of deadlines landing at the same time. It is so much more fulfilling and easier on your whole body and your mind if you're doing and pushing through because you are passionate and curious, rather than because you've just got to. You can just have to and hate it, or you can just have to, but it's okay because you're wildly curious about the thing anyway, and the thing delivers so much passion that it is worth it, and that passion and that curiosity drives the energy to deliver it. So that is why I look around at all the people that I coach, and I see the ones that are thriving are the ones that have really connected to what they're doing in here, and they are just doubling down on that right now. And the ones that are sinking, I'm finding, are often the ones, and it's not the same for everybody, definitely, but in what I'm seeing in my coaching practice, it's the ones that have never given themselves permission to even think about what they want to be doing anyway. So where do you start with all this? Well, like I've said, you can go back to the beginning of my video series, but I want to give you something in this video that you can do as well, especially if you've watched all my videos up till now and you're kind of up to date. And maybe, like myself, you've gone through the shock of what's going on in the world. You've gone through the immediate, right, how do I make sure that everyone that I love or look after, or that myself, is fed? And I've responded to perhaps what's going on economically with myself and with my financial health, you know, all the responding things that we do when we have an enormous shock and life gets shaken in a big way. And perhaps, like myself, you've kind of just spent a couple of weeks just really wrapping your head around it all and taking stock of everything before then responding to the next stage, which is, okay, now what do I actually do? I've taken care of all my primal needs, making sure I'm well fed, making sure I've got a roof over my head, dealing with all the ugly stuff, perhaps, you know, that you just have to deal with in times like this. And now perhaps you're looking around like I am and going, right, now that's all kind of taken care of. I've got used to all this. My what's the word again? I always want to use immune system. It's not my nervous system. You know, your nervous system has had a chance to settle. What next? Well, what I would like you to look at this week is, what are your values? I want you to assess your values, because your values are directly connected to the kind of work you want to do and the kind of life you want to lead. It's all going to feed into your lifestyle, because if it doesn't, you're going to have this awful disconnect, which is going to manifest in stress, perhaps issues in your body with your health. And so knowing what your values are is something that quite a few people just never get around to. And if you do this kind of work from time to time, then indulge me, enjoy doing it today, because I'm coming at it from perhaps a different angle than you're used to. When I look at values, I look at them from the point of view of, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel in my life? And then that tells me what I want my life to look like and the kind of things that I want to do. There's obviously many, many more layers in uncovering how you can do what you love. It's all covered in my series. But for today, I just want you to ask yourself, how do I want to feel every day? And think about the various elements that are in your life. And what is the number one way you want to feel when you relate to the key areas in your life? So for me, my key areas are my children. I'm a mother, for example. So one example of that is, the most important thing I want from my relationship with my children and just being a mother is that I feel deeply connected to them and they feel deeply connected to me. So that then already starts to have a huge impact on what my lifestyle looks like, what I do with my work, when I do it, that kind of thing. Because my number one value with that core aspect of my life is that I want to feel deeply connected. So I want you to think about, what are the core things in your life? You know, work is another core thing for me. My health is enormously high up on my priorities, because I've experienced ignoring my health, funny enough, doing work that I hated, and I have experienced the terrible, terrible results of putting my health last and trying to do something that was absolutely not in alignment with my values, with anything that interested me, and it actually drew on the things that I am weakest at every single day for many, many years. So I've experienced getting to the point where my ill health got so bad that I couldn't walk for 9 months because of chronic pain. And so obviously, as a result of that, I have really learned, oh, health is number one. Like people say, your health is your wealth. It really is. Like we all say, oh my goodness, you get perspective when you realize, what if you didn't have your health? So therefore, for me, I need to feel well in my mind and my body. I put my mental wellness and my physical wellness as a top priority. So obviously that is going to have an enormous impact on what I want my lifestyle to look like. I'm not going to make choices that are going to sacrifice my health anymore. I'm not going to do it. So go through the different areas and start to build a little list of maybe 5 or 6 values that also are connected to how you want to feel. And we will carry on with this next week. And as usual, if you would like to get any more time with me, I do one-to-ones with people. I'm a creative coach, so I help women with their creativity, with how to market their business on Instagram, but most importantly, with their mindset. Yes, so if you would be interested in joining a community of creative women who are actively working towards doing what they love and learning all the tools and techniques to enable them to get there, then drop me a line at hello@kiacannons.com and I would love to talk to you a bit more about the membership and see if it's the right fit for you. All right, I will see you next week.